This is 7 of the over 2,000 different agents that we've deployed. And I chose these 7 specifically for 2 reasons. One, they're agnostic to any industry. But 2, almost all of these, even people that don't have jobs like we have, can understand and relate to these. So I'm going to go through 2 of these quite quickly, just to give you an idea of what the agentic solution was. As I explain these, I'd love for you to think just to yourself, is my organization doing this? If not, well, it's very easy and not expensive to do. And then also, okay, well, that's a really simple, cool concept that certainly saves time and money. What other things could I think of personally that my organization could do? So the first one that I'm going to give the example of is number 3 on this list. In this case, what you do is you take any sort of contract. Almost any big company has master contracts, MSAs, SOWs, statements of work, NDAs, the list goes on, right? Employment contracts. So take a certain type of contract and put it into a SharePoint folder. That then essentially becomes your small language model, because what you're saying is anything that goes into this SharePoint folder, in this specific example, is my gold standard. These are the ones that I want to be what all of my contracts should be. And in this case, instead of the legal team spending hours reviewing the contract and redlining it with all of these different things that they just natively know, or using reference models to make sure they're hitting everything on the checklist, you feed a new contract into the AI tool, and it uses that reference folder to automatically redline the contract based on your already approved contracts. Huge time saver. So something that would have taken a couple of hours now takes maybe 10 minutes for the legal team to review. I don't know about you guys. The legal teams that I often interact with, you say, hey, I've got this new contract, can you review it? And they're like, sure, we're 2 to 10 weeks backlogged, but absolutely. Use case like this, huge time saver, helps solve a problem like that, helps save a lot of time and energy within the organization. The second one that I want to talk through briefly is number 6. In this specific example, if your organization has a call center, this would be very applicable, but I think everybody can relate to what I'm about to say. So in this specific example, we did this for a utility company. And I don't know about you, if you ever have to call your utility company, it's not a fun experience. But ideally, you get a hold of somebody that can understand what you're calling about and can help you resolve whatever you're calling about. What this utility company wanted to do was have the AI listening to the call. So a transcription service was part of this, right? And in listening to it, as it's listening to what the customer is calling to complain or has an issue with, the AI is then pulling up the correct service guide for the agent that's on the phone and says, this is the guide that you need to help resolve the problem. So that helps save time, helps save energy, helps resolve the issues faster. But that's not the only thing the agent did. At the end of the call, the agent would then summarize the discussion that was just had. It would document what the outcome was, what was done to resolve the issue, and it would send an email to the person that called in and say, you spoke to this person today, this is what you discussed, this is what was resolved or not resolved, this is a job aid, should this ever occur for you again in the future, you have this, but you're always welcome to call again. And that increased customer satisfaction quite significantly, right? So in a later slide, I'm going to show you a number of different things that you can consider when we talk about value. Data obviously has an immense level of value, but there's a lot of other things too that have value, and I'm going to emphasize the fact that by implementing an AI agent in your organization, the value doesn't have to be dollar-based. It doesn't have to be how much money it saves the organization. That's an important one. That's certainly one we'll talk about. But in the case here, increasing customer satisfaction was one of the leadership's goals and is one of the things that this AI agent helped achieve that goal.